Okay, hi, good day, everyone. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do May, June 2025. Right, they said PMQROS is a cross section of the area of in a play park. PQS is a rectangle and PMO is a semicircle. O is the midpoint of RS. Right? Okay. OP is equal to OQ, which is equals to 15 meters, and the angle of POQ is 40. Right. And they said pi is 22 over 7. So first off, determine the value of angle OPQ. So let's look at O, P, and Q. Now, the first things first, they told you that OP and OQ are equal. So immediately your headspace have to go into this is an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is a triangle whose two sides are equal and their two base angles, which is this angle here and this angle here, would both be equal. So let's call this OPQ and OPQ and OQP. So we know that OPQ, that is this angle here, is equal to OQP. That's this angle here. So because they're equal, let's call it X. So this is X and this will be also X. Right? Now, a next thing is in a triangle, all the angles is equal to 180. So we can say X plus X, which is OPQ plus OQP, plus 40 would give you 180. So that's 2x is equals to 180 minus 40. If I carry across plus x, it turns to minus. If I carry across plus 40, it turns to minus 40. So I know that 2x would be equals to 140, and I want to make x the subject. I carry across, multiply by 2, which turns to 140 divided by 2. 2 could go into 14 7 times, and 2 could go into 0 times. So we know that this angle here is going to be 70, and this angle here is going to be 70. So then, let's go on to another question. Let's go on to the next part. Calculate the length of OR. So they want to know the length of OR. So the next thing is, this is a 90 degrees, right? And immediately when you see a 90 degrees triangle, you're supposed to think about Pythagoras theorem. The side that is opposite your 90 degrees is 15, so your hypotenuse is 15. What we know, let's just zoom out so I can see the question and make the formula. I know that, is that, yeah, that's cute. O I know that OQ squared, that's the hypotenuse squared, would be equal to the other two sides squared, which is OR squared plus RQ squared. We know that OQ is 15, so 15 squared is equals to OR squared, which is what we're trying to find out, plus RQ squared would be 14.1 squared. Alright, I have the formula and everything, so I'm zooming up so I can write to the side there. So now I know if I had to make OR squared the subject, I know that would be 15. Hold on. So 15 squared is equals to OR squared plus 14.1. I want to make this the subject. Carry this across. This is squared as well. So that'll be 15 squared minus 14.1 squared is equals to OR squared. But do we want OR squared? No, we want OR. So OR would be carry across to the power of 2. That would be square root. So the square root of 15 squared minus 14.1 squared, right? I'm going to put exactly what you're seeing there. I'm going to put it in calculator. So the square root of open bracket 15 squared minus 14.1 squared close bracket is equal to, so OR would be 5.117616633. It is not best practice, it is recommended by CSEC that anytime you have an answer like this, you put it to one decimal place or three significant figures, right? So I'm going to put it to one decimal place. It'll be 5.1 centimeters, and again to one decimal place in brackets, right? And that is how you would get your answer for this one here. Okay, so very quickly, how would you do this in the calculator? You're looking for square root. It's above x squared in yellow. So in your sharp calculator, second function, you're looking for square root. Square root is in yellow above. So second function is how you access the stuff in yellow, right? Second function, and then x squared, which will give you square root of 15. x2 is squared minus 14.1 squared, close the brackets. Make it best practice to open and close the bracket anytime you're finding the square root of something. You press equal and you see I get this answer. Let's do it on the Casio now. Let me just, for the Casio now, we want to find the square root of, now your Casio is actually programmed to, anything you type out, they're finding the square root of, right? So if you put 15 squared, you see how the square root is extending there? They're not taking it out, they're actually finding the square root of everything under this line here. So 14.1 squared, right? This is exactly what it have. You press equal, and to get this in decimal format, you press this SD, so you do get 5.1176 whatever have you. Please note, guys, that your calculator should also always be in degrees, okay? So the answer for OR would be equal to 5.1 centimeters to one decimal place. Again, it is understood that that is the standard for CSEC. However, unless stated otherwise, I would leave the answer as this. All right. So let's look at the next page. I just put a picture of the image so I won't have to keep on going back and forth. Calculate the area of the shaded portion. Now, right. Okay, sorry, I don't know what happened there. So we know that this here, OR, is, how much did we get? 5.1? Yeah, 5.1. And they told you that OR and OS are the same, yes? So this is 5.1. This is 5.1. And then S to O will also be 5.1. So if I have to combine these two, 5.1 plus 5.1 is 10.2. And that would be the length of this here, 10.2. Right, now what kind of shapes do we see in the shaded portion? We have to find the area of your semicircle. That's a half a circle. Plus the area of your triangle. Right? Now, if we look at this, guys, if this is 10.2, the length of here, which is a perpendicular height, will also be 14.1. So I need you to take that into consideration when doing this question. So first, let's find out the area of your semicircle. Area of your semi or half a circle would be, or area of a circle is pi r squared, right? Pi, which is 22 over 7, multiplied by the radius from here to here is your diameter. Your radius would be 5.1 squared. So 22 over 7 multiplied by 5.1 squared. Doing it in your calculator. 22 over 7 multiplied by 5.1 squared is equal to 81.745711429. So we'll just say 81.7 meters squared to one decimal, please. Okay, and then hold on, that would be the area of your square, and then you divide this by 2. You will get 40.8. I divided this by 2, by the way, and not this. 81.745711429. I divided that by 2, so I will get 40.87285714, which is 40.1 meters squared is the area of your semicircle. Right? The area of your triangle, again, we have to take into consideration what is given. You can use Heron's law because all sides are given. Also, you can use base by height over 2. We have the base, which is 10.2 times your height, your perpendicular height, which is 14.1, all divided by 2. Right, so 10.2 multiplied by 14.1 divided by 2 is equal to 71.91. So my total area would be area of a semicircle, which is 40.1, plus area of my triangle is 71.9. I'm putting 1, but I'm already approximating. So when I add this, so 71.9 plus 40.1, I will get an answer of 112 meters squared, and that would be the area of this entire shape. So just to correct the formula here, area of a semicircle would be area of a circle, which is pi r squared divided by 2. Remember, a semicircle is half of a circle, so yeah, divide by 2. So it is not 40.1, it's 40.9, because this had to approximate. So it's 40.9 plus 71.9, which is 112.8 meters squared to one decimal, please. Right, and that's the answer for this. Now, find the perimeter of the cross section of PMQROS. So let's see what is PMQOR. Hold on. Find the cross section of PMQROS. Right, so that means we have to find the perimeter, which means total distance around. We're going right around and going back at P. We're going to end up back at P, right? Because again, perimeter is the total distance around, starting from one point and then back at the same point. The only thing that we don't know here, guys, is this distance here, PMQ, which is your perimeter, or it is the perimeter of a semicircle, or the circumference of a semicircle, right? This side here, because they told you that QR and PS is the same, so this would be 14.1. Right, so let's find out. The only thing that we really need to find out is that semicircle. So we know that the perimeter of your semicircle would be circumference of your circle, which is 2 pi r, or diameter by pi, right, which is, let's put that, 2 pi r, or 2r by pi, over 2, right? So that would be, we already found out the diameter to be 10.2, so I'll just put 10.2, right? 10.2 multiplied by 22 over 7, and then all of this you're going to divide by 2. So you're going to put exactly what I have there, you're going to put in a calculator, 10.2 multiplied by 22 over 7, divide by 2 is 16.02857,143, which we will leave it as 16.0. Alright, so we'll just put it as 16. So now, let's just go down. My perimeter would be 16 plus 14.1 plus 14.1 plus 10.2. Like, well, that's how you get 14.1. It told you it's this distance here, which we got to be 16 plus 14.1 plus 10.2 plus 14.1. When you add it up, you're going to get 16 plus 14.1 plus 14.1 plus 10.2. You'll get 54.4, and its perimeter, so it will be meters, and that to 1 decimal, please. And that is going to be your answer for this question here. Right, if we go down, that is the end of number 6 for May, June 2025, and that is how you would do this question.